how much deposit do I need is one of the first questions I get asked by first home buyers when they start off. Today we're going to get into just that if you're buying in Melbourne or Victoria. You want to stick around to the end because I'm going to reveal to you how you can get into the market off no deposit. Sounds scammy, but it's legit. Let's get into it. So how much do you need to buy a first home? Well, the rule of thumb over a long period of time, say the last 10 years or something, has been 10%. So the idea behind that is basically you've got 5%, which is your actual deposit to buy the property, and then another 5% to cover costs. The main costs involved in Victoria the last 5 years has generally been mortgage insurance. So if you're putting in a 5% deposit, generally your mortgage insurance is about 4% of that cost. So quite a lot, I know, but that's how it is. The rule of thumb is that you need 10% of the purchase price to be able to be in the ballpark of buying your own property. There is a way you can get in of 5%, and of recent years that has been called the first home grant, previously known as the first home loan deposit scheme. There's also a heap of different runoff grants, but they're all kind of similar. So I'm just going to explain the first home grant, and that's a proxy for all of the other grants. Before we jump in, I just want to tell you about our first home buyer Facebook community where you can jump in and get access to all the information you need. It's specifically if you're buying in Melbourne or Victoria because there's specific rules around stamp duty, etc. The link is in the description below, so please jump in and join the community. So basically off the first home grant, all you need is a 5% deposit to get into the property market. Yes, there are some things such as terms and conditions. So let me just explain how it works. Generally, when you buy a house without any grant, if you've got a small deposit, like a 5 or a 10% deposit, you need what's called lender's mortgage insurance. So the bank takes out lender's mortgage insurance in case you can't pay your home loan back and they have to sell the house, but then they don't get the money back that they're owed on the loan. That can be quite expensive, as I said, 4%. So if you're buying something at 600 grand here in Victoria, it's 24 grand you've got to save to cover that lender's mortgage insurance. What the first home guarantee is the federal government comes in and says, hey, we're going to guarantee this loan. So if in the event you be a bad person and for whatever reason you can't pay the loan back, and if the bank goes to sell the property from under you and the bank loses money, the government will sort them out. What this means is that you don't need to pay that lender's mortgage insurance, which means you can get in off a 5% deposit. You might be thinking about that extra 1%. Do you need a little bit extra? Yes, you do. We're generally talking about a couple of grand, something like that. Note, I did say something about 600 grand before. Here in Victoria, once you start going over 600 grand, you do have to start paying stamp duty. If you purchase under 600 grand, then your stamp duty is waived. So just be aware of that. If you go over 600 grand, you do have to pay stamp duty. There is a calculator on the State Revenue Office Victoria website. You can go to that and figure out what the stamp duties are. Now, I said at the top of the episode something about no deposit, and it sounds scammy, but it's not. What it's called is Guarantor home loan or family guarantee. So much like how the federal government guarantees an FHG scheme loan, what happens with a family guarantor is you have a family member, generally someone's parents, close family member, will put up a property that they own to go as security against the loan. Basically, from a bank's point of view, if they're holding two properties against one loan, that's a lot more secure. Less risk for the bank means they don't need to take out lender's mortgage insurance, and you can get into the market off a 0% deposit. Are there terms and conditions? Yes. If you're not that good with your money, you're going to have trouble getting access to one of these guarantor loans, simply because there is the added risk of the guarantor putting their property up against your loan. Okay, just to quickly summarize here, 10% is your rule of thumb, 5% you can get in, but conditions apply, and 0% you can use a family guarantor if they're willing to go guarantor for you. In all these situations, your best bet is to use a mortgage broker. You can follow the links in the description. You can also follow the link in the description for the first home buyer group and ask your questions in there. I'll be going into more detail in another video on guarantors for first home buyers, so be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like this video, you might like this one next on the first home guarantee or regional guarantee.